How are you doing, guys? Hope you're all well. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be focused on LinkedIn and how to implement a LinkedIn strategy. This is something that I've done a number of times for my clients over the years. I'm just going to walk you through a very simple step-by-step process of what to do. But before we kick things off, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Sudhir Kumar. I'm the marketing director. I'm also an author and a growth architect at Origin Growth, a boutique marketing agency. My specialist areas include ABM, social selling, B2B, lead generation, bespoke marketing strategies, content marketing, and last but not least, LinkedIn, just to name a few. So let's kick things off now that I've got that out of the way and start with step number one. Okay, so let's kick things off with step number one, which is all about knowing and understanding your audience. Now, this is something I've spoken about in great detail and great depth over the years. You shouldn't treat your audience, your prospects, your clients as numbers, as leads. They are human beings. It's about changing your mindset, changing your approach, and actually understanding the individuals that you want to do business with. So there's a number of layers to this. The sort of top layer is the basic technographics, firmographics, the location, number of employees, the size of the business. Then you can go one level further in terms of industry trends and who are the key players, and if you can get more information of who just had funding, etc., etc. But really what you want to do is then go one level deeper. You need to dig deeper and need to get that human to human level on the go. So then it's really about understanding your audience, the individuals, so who are the key decision makers within that organization that you need to get in front of. What are their individual pain points and challenges they face, because that's going to influence your content, which we can talk about later. But you do need to understand them. What are the pain points and challenges that they face? What keeps them awake at night? What are they looking to achieve? What will make them look good? What sort of industry issues are coming up that could affect them? All of these questions, all these things you need to take into consideration, because you need to understand your audience so you can not only have a conversation, but before you get to that point, you need to show that you actually understand them. You need to position yourself as someone that isn't just a typical salesperson. You need to position yourself as a thought leader, as someone who understands them, as someone who can give them value. So take the time first off to understand your audience. Invest the time up front. That's been key. That's been critical. I've spoken about it in terms of ABM, social selling, but taking that mindset, that approach, and adapt it to how you first approach and implement your LinkedIn strategy. Understand your audience. Okay, next up is your profile. Now, I don't want to talk about this in great detail, because if you did a Google search on how to optimize your LinkedIn profile, you will get over 10 million results back. It's something that has been talked about to death, and quite frankly, if your profile isn't optimized to the basic standard, then you're just plain lazy. There is no excuse now. There is so much information out there, and even if you aren't comfortable in updating or optimizing your profile, you can just jump on somewhere like Fiverr and pay someone £10-20 just to get it done. At the bare minimum, have a photo. Have a photo, fit in the details. And again, it's just about having the right mindset. When you are filling in your details, your profile page should be treated as your own personal website or a landing page. So when anyone lands on that page, they understand instantly the value that you can provide them. That's what it's about. It's not about creating a CV and then saying how much of a great salesperson you are, how much of a great marketeer you are. It's about positioning yourself and answering the questions that your audience will have, which is, if I connect with this person, if I reach out to this person, if I accept their connection request, what value will they bring me? And they'll look at your title, they'll look at your description, they'll look at your activity, and if you've added any content that you've been posted, they'll look at your references, where people have left testimonials. So all of these things have a massive part to play. So just take that mindset on board. Have a look at how you can update and optimize your profile correctly. So look at your headline. Don't just put the Rainmaker, which I've seen a number of times. Okay, list in there what sort of key areas that you are specialising in. For instance, myself, I do position and write I am a marketing director, but I also put ABM, social sayings, are the key areas that I specialise in. I've got posts highlighted from key sort of content that I've posted out there, whether it's PR pieces, personal blogs that I've written that I have had good interaction, ads and trailers for my book, Being Human, guides that I've written that I'm giving away for free with no form fill, and I've got testimonials on there from my clients. So when someone jumps on there, they get all that. They understand, okay, this person is a marketer and this is what he specialises in, and here's some elements of his work. Oh, okay, I understand that. That relates to his message. That relates to his outreach. Change your mindset, change your approach, adopt that new way of thinking, and update your profiles. Number 2. Okay, so now we're on to number 3, which is all about growing your network. LinkedIn is an amazing platform. It's growing, it's changing, it's adapting, it's getting better. Microsoft, who acquired it a couple of years ago, are only going to invest more into it. There's huge potential on there for you to connect with your target audience. It's just about understanding how to extract the value from LinkedIn. So when you try to connect with people, who is it that you want to connect with? Who is your target audience? Those are the people that you want to connect with. Say for instance, you're a marketeer and you have some great case studies, some great experience in the SaaS sector. Focus on that. And then it's, okay, who are the key players within that market? Who are the key decision makers that I want to focus on, that I want to connect with? Are they based in the UK? Are they based in the US? Does location not matter? Then it's about connecting with those people. The more targeted and specific you can be with your outreach, with growing your network, the more rich it's going to be. If it's more specific and targeted to you, when you do start to post your content, when you do start to interact, it's going to resonate because it's all relative to your network, to those individuals. You're always going to be posting content. You're always going to be posting value-added content. You're always going to be trying to give something back, because that's the process of LinkedIn. You have to give something back. You have to give value before you try to extract it. You have to position yourself. You have to understand your audience. And then you've got to grow your audience. You've got to grow and connect with the right people. So not connect with anyone or just friends and family. It's about those key individuals that you can, hand on your heart, you can definitely help. Your products, your services, you as an individual, whether you're a personal brand or you're in your own business, that you can genuinely help these individuals. Those are the people that you want to connect with. So have a strategy, have a focus, be very specific, be very targeted, and connect with those individuals, and be active. Don't just spend, an hour a week or an hour a month to just connect with a few people. You've got potential there to continue to connect with people on a daily basis. Yes, there's a cap limit, but invest the time. Put aside 10-20 minutes a day to look at your profile, to look at your activity, and to connect with individuals. And over time, you'll see your network grow. The more it grows, the more targeted it can be, the richer your pool, the more value you'll be able to extract from it. So don't forget to grow your network. Okay, number 4, content. Content is king. We've all heard it. And you really need to ask yourself, before you start to create any content at all, who are you creating content for? Because it shouldn't be for yourself. It shouldn't be for your ego. It should be for your audience. The audience that you've taken the time and you are continually investing the time to understand. The audience that you are trying to connect with, that you're being very targeted, specific and focused on. That audience. On LinkedIn, you have groups. You can look at what's trending in terms of groups. You have hashtags. You can follow specific hashtags. Once you click on those hashtags, you can then look at the trending content, the most popular content. You can see what sort of content is out there. And you can also then take elements, take influence and adapt, and then give your opinion on it, give your take on it, maybe in a different medium, maybe a different format, maybe from a totally different perspective. Also, ask your existing clients who are in that industry, who are in that sector. They have the knowledge. Ask them, what's going on? How's business? Are you affected by this? How are you getting on with this new industry regulation? How's the market looking? What pain points and problems are you facing? Talk to them. They have the insight. And finally, use platforms. There's so much information out there that is information rich. AskThePublic.com. You can look at the most trending keywords and hashtags related to specific industries. Again, be very specific, be very targeted in terms of your content. You want to write it for your audience, the audience that you are trying to resonate with, that you're trying to connect with. If you can create content that is of true value and you are writing that content specifically for that audience in the formats they prefer, and you are posting it on the channels that they are on and the groups that they're in terms of LinkedIn, etc., and maybe even Twitter or whatever, then you're going to get noticed, and then you're going to start to build that rapport. You're going to get that brand awareness. And those are the key sort of elements and touch points that you want. So when you are writing content, make sure you're writing for your audience and not for yourself. Okay, outbound. I say that with a sigh because so much of it goes on LinkedIn. It's just human spamming. I mean, I read a stat the other day that 90% of C-suite don't respond to impersonal messages and emails on LinkedIn. I'm not surprised. It's annoying. It annoys me. I'm sure it annoys you guys. And we've all had that experience of when you connect or accept a connection request from an individual and you're instantly hit with a sales message. It doesn't work. It doesn't resonate. It's just going to annoy your audience. So again, mindset, approach, take into consideration the steps we've got to get to this point. You understand your audience. You're being very specific about who you're targeting, individuals that you can genuinely help, individuals where there is synergy. You're posting out content that is of value to them, specifically, again, for those individuals. So now, how are you going to reach out to these people? Take the time, look at their profile. Double check, is there really synergy? Yes, there is. Okay. What are you going to offer them? You have to offer them something of value. You have to offer them something that they can't get elsewhere, whether that's something very basic, which again, I'm sure we've all had, which is, whether it's a guide or a free workshop or a free webinar or a free audit, or maybe it's not even a sales message at all. Maybe it's just, I would love to catch up and learn more about you. Let's catch up for a virtual coffee. I say virtual because the pandemic's still going on. If they were local, or you were in London, or you had a number of meetings and you could meet up, then take that individual out for a coffee. Let's catch up for a chat. Maybe it's a specific industry topic. Maybe it's a new regulation that's coming in. Maybe you want to talk about the acceleration and adoption of digital transformation, how it's affected the whole world, but be specific. Maybe you want to talk about e-commerce. Maybe you want to talk about, the whole checkout process, or how you can implement new software such as address verification to enhance the speed, enhance the acquisition of data to reduce the amount of failed deliveries. You're showing there you are very specific. You're showing that you actually understand the industry. You have some value to add. You're coming at it from a different perspective. Just think about how you're going to reach out to people and what you're going to offer them. You have to give first before you try to extract. And then it's the type of medium you're going to use. Yes, you can use messages. Use whatever you're comfortable with. For me, I always go for video, and I've been doing that a lot simply because, again, I'm a big believer of having that human interaction. I want people to put a face to a name, to look at me, to understand me, get my mannerisms, get myself across. And if I can do that and cut through all the noise in a 1 minute 30 video, I'd rather do that than sending a cookie cutter message to 250 people. So just think about how you're going to reach out to people. Take the time to look at their profile, understand them, look at their activity. Maybe there's some elements in there you can mention. Maybe it's a PR piece, maybe it's their latest blog, maybe you're both members of the same group. Just look for instances where you can actually start a conversation. And these are all of the things that you would have done and do in person. It's just the same tactics and methods you used to do offline in networking events. Now we're going to do those online. Just adapting our approach and adapt our mindset. So when it comes to outbound, lose the spamming, be very specific, and reach out to these people and try to have a genuine conversation. And I know, yes, it's going to take time. Well, if you invest the time, you get good results. I can guarantee that. I can tell you that because from experience, for myself, you know, if I'm doing outreaches and they're video outreaches, maybe I'll do 10 a day. At a push, might be do 20. But if 10 isn't a lot, but it's because I'm spending the time to understand the individual. Maybe someone isn't a good fit and I'll move on to someone else. But I'd rather do 10 quality outreach messages rather than 100 or 200 cookie cutter messages, fingers crossed, hoping something gets through. Take the time, invest, understand your audience, and have a genuine outreach. Try and get that human-to-human interaction going. Spark a conversation. Number 6 is referrals, an old school tactic that still works today and works even better on LinkedIn. Don't be afraid to ask for referrals. Look at your network, ask your existing clients to refer you to any other individuals and businesses that would use your services, that your services could be of value of, someone else that you can add value, someone else you can help. Don't be afraid to do that. And also don't be afraid to ask for referrals or introductions to prospects that you are looking to, you know, do work with. That's a great introducer. That a warm introduction is phenomenal. We all know that. So, you know, again, on LinkedIn, especially if you have Sales Navigator, it does show how you are connected to that individual. So if it's a second degree connection, it will show the number of related contacts you have in association. Then you can just, if it's Fred, say, hey Fred, do you mind introducing me to so-and-so, because you know, I think there's synergy, I would love to help them. You're off. So referrals, and also referrals on the platform. Don't be afraid to do it. It's a great way of having warmer conversations. So referrals. Okay, and the last point is always be refining, always be reviewing. Look at your campaigns and look at what's working and what isn't. If you look at, say, you do 100 video messages, of that you have 20 responses, which results in 10 meetings, and you convert 1 lead. Look at the instances, look at what's working and what isn't. Maybe if you didn't use the video in the first instance and you went with a message and a guide, maybe that will get a better response. Do a split A/B test. And then look at your other messages to say, maybe you're going in too quick with your sales message. Maybe you should give away a guide, then it's a free video message with a workshop. Then it's the potential of asking, hey, can we catch up for a meeting? I'd love to have a face-to-face meeting to talk about X, Y, and Z. Always be learning, always be looking, split A/B tests, use different messages, use different variants of value offering as well. So webinars, guides, blogs, maybe joint collaboration on a blog. Maybe you're putting together a newsletter and you want people to feature on it. Just think outside the box and make sure that anything that you do, again, is for your audience and it adds value. All of that will help towards positioning yourself as an industry expert, someone they can trust, and stay on that mindset, stay on that wavelength, keep doing it, keep refining, and you will get better as you go along, but you need to invest the time. There is no quick fix to this. If you are thinking, well, this is just great advice, but I just don't have the time and I want automation to do it, then automation can do a lot of this, but the results won't be the same. So if you invest the time, you will get the right results. I can guarantee you that. So always refine, always review, keep learning, and keep pushing forward. And that's it. I hope this video brought you some value. If you did like it, please give me a thumbs up. A lot of this, in terms of the mindset, the approach, and certain tactics elements, are mentioned in my book, Being Human. This is available on Amazon, paperback and Kindle. All the proceeds go to the National Autistic Society, so I would appreciate your support. And there's a lot of insight into this book. I've called it Being Human because for me, that is key, especially now in this digital world that we live in. So more nuggets and insight in this. I hope you found the video of use. Give me a thumbs up, give me a like and a subscribe, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Take care.